Welcome to the new QX Financial podcast. We've got Janko here with us today, and we're actually going to be starting something new for the next little while. We're going to be talking more about the main strategy that we like to use with most of our clients and kind of how it works and why we use it, as well as the many different ways that it can be used. So welcome to the podcast. And if you like the information that you see here, please make sure you like and subscribe so that you can get more great content and more information as we go.
Awesome.
So yeah, jumping into this, the topic that we're going to be covering, the strategy that we're going to be covering kind of goes by a couple of different names in the industry. I first learned about it as infinite banking concept. Some people call it be your own banker. Some call it banking on yourself. Really the core of this concept is just being able to finance things in such a way that you are, in essence, copying the things that the bank does in order to make money. And so as you are copying the ways that the bank makes their money, you are then able to kind of recapture a lot of the wealth that's just been siphoning off unknowingly. And by doing this, you're able to kind of keep that wealth in your own system and be able to compound on it again and again and again. And, this might sound a little confusing starting out, but don't worry, we're going to go through the whole thing, how it works, why it works, and you'll be able to kind of get a good feel for why we like this concept so much here at QX Financial. As we start, let's go ahead and talk about why we want to use this concept. Junko, go ahead and tell us, why QX Financial wants to use this concept, why we focus on this concept so much, and why we love it so much for our clients.
Faraday, you're exactly right. It goes by all kinds of different names, especially now with the internet. People are making all kinds of names and claims up about this becoming your own banker concept. So just one word of advice before we jump into this series of videos that we're going to be doing for you guys to understand the concept. A lot of people that are promoting quote unquote banking out there in YouTube or TikTok or other social media platforms is something else, but it's not banking. It's not true to the core concept of becoming your own banker. So as Shadi was saying, the idea is to be able to recapture those dollars that usually go to third parties and keep it in within yourselves. So the important component here, as an introduction, what I like to tell you guys is that historically there's been two main ways that we advisors or financial professionals or insurance agents have advised their clients to build wealth, right? It's usually through savings and investing. That's always kind of been the conversation with most people, whether you want to buy a home or send your kids to college or retire. Is savings, investing, or a combination of those two things? And that's the way most of us understand how to build money. But there is a third way. There is a third way, which is the financing cost, what we call the banking part or the financing part of your everyday life, right? All of us are going to buy vehicles and finance vacations, and we usually do this using other people's money. And that money, especially in this environment today, in November 2023, is very expensive with interest rates rising and so on. But it's always been the case that when you use somebody else's money, you're losing two main things. You're losing opportunity costs because you're not going to get any return on the money that you are using to pay them back, right? Money that leaves you is a wealth transfer. But also you're paying that third party an additional amount of interest, for the privilege of using their money. So you're actually paying for two separate things. Most of us don't think of money in that fashion, right? But when you are financing, you're losing money potentially in even three ways, especially if you're financing a depreciating asset. You're paying for the privilege of using that money. You're giving up all the future equity on those payments that you're making. And also the asset itself that you're buying is losing value. So again, we don't think in those terms, but you're really losing money in three different ways. And those three ways compound over time. And so when you project that, the cost is really high. So the question here is very simple. What about those way where we can show how to recapture all those lifetime costs and put them back in your pocket, put that money back to work for you. Wouldn't that be a much better financial arrangement? And it would be. It's different than savings and investing. It's a different thing. You know, you should be doing both. You should be doing saving and investing. But it's a third way of money that we're going to spend anyway, that is already allocated for that purpose, that we can find a way to recapture it. And in doing so, help you accelerate and build more wealth. How can we do that? Well, simply because most of the money we spend in our budget is liabilities, is financing all the things that we buy, even the ones that we buy in cash, you are indirectly financing it. So all those little concepts, all those keywords that I've been using for the last 2 to 3 minutes, we're gonna dive into it as we go through this podcast. But for today, I would like you to remember two main things. Number one, you can save, you can invest, but also financing and knowing how to finance things correctly can make you money. That's what we call this banking component, right? And number two, banking is not a product. Banking is not something you buy. It's not a gimmick either. It's a way of doing things. It's a way to manage your affairs in such a way that you protect your opportunity costs and you recapture those costs. It's not a get rich quick thing. It's not going to make you bazillions of dollars. It's not crypto or some crazy thing like that. It's a process, a way of doing things. But if you do them correctly and you're disciplined enough, you will create an additional avenue of wealth building that for most people they didn't realize it was there. And that is the reason why it's such a popular concept with us today, because most people don't even know they can make money that way. And once they figure out how it can be done, they love it and they put it into practice. So stay tuned for the next couple of video chats or video podcasts that we're going to putting out there, kind of going in detail every step of the process of the concept. And then you can, guys, ask questions and let us know if that's something that potentially can make sense for you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Junko. I look forward to the next episodes, the next series, and I hope that everyone out there also will find a lot of value in the information that we have to give. So thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.